So this video, I am going to explain the top few technical skills and soft skills you need for one of the most in-demand job in programmatic advertising. So what is the most in-demand job on the market? You guessed it right. It is programmatic media trader or programmatic media buyer. First of all, let's take a quick second to highlight that if you recognize this person, you were most likely a 90s babies and probably an 80s babies, okay? Or even older than that. But I know you ain't old, but I know you ain't that young, okay? You're like me. So programmatic media trader is one of the most in-demand jobs right now. There are many other jobs that you can have, but I'm going to focus on programmatic media trading for this video. This is probably one of the most common job responsibilities you'll see. You'll have to manage day-to-day programmatic activities. You have to manage basic account maintenance, including customization of audiences. You'll be responsible for direct optimization, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to go through each and explain the technical skill for this. When you see on a job description for programmatic media trader, which honestly is simply a campaign manager, your number one role is to manage the ad campaign in that technology. There's several DSPs available out there, and you can all learn them. Okay. So one of the fundamental job of a programmatic trader is maybe setting up the campaign in the DSP, in that technology, managing the performance, and maybe reporting. So that's like fundamentally what you'll be expected to do as a trader, a different level. When you see something like manage day-to-day programmatic advertising activities across multiple DSP, which I'm referring to the first bullet point, it's simply that you're going to set it up based on the information you'll be provided, and then you're going to manage based on the key performance indicator that you'll be held accountable for based on that goal. Okay, the second one simply means that it's almost very similar to the first bullet point. When you're setting up your campaign, you will be responsible for things like budget, inserting the tactics, and audience is very important. And floodlight is just something that allows us to measure how we're performing. Okay, so that's just a name that a technology used to say, this is my tracking mechanism to help me measure what's happening. So that's what you see that. The third bullet point is responsible for campaign direction and optimization across various ad formats. So if you don't know the different ad format, make sure you watch some of the videos where I explain the benefit of programmatic advertising, where I show you what different formats are out there. But this is basically like once you start that campaign, you're going to start seeing data come in. You're going to be responsible to to look at certain metrics and dimension. And optimization is just the exercise that we do as trader, as campaign manager, where we pull a report. Most of the time it's Excel-based, Excel form, and we look at the data. Okay, we do an analysis. It's just like at the end of the month, when you look at your bank account, you do the analysis. You're like, where's my money gone? Like rent is due, mortgage is due next. Where's the money? So you go through your bank account data. You can also download that as a PDF, but I'm sure if you want Excel, they could send that to you. And then you assess how much money was spent where you need to cut down, if you need to return anything, if you need to stop buying from Amazon, something like that, right? So you do this analysis based on your goal. My goal is to figure out how much money I've spent, where I've spent it. Same thing when it comes to optimization, based on your Excel sheet, based on that management, based on the performance, you look at things like your inventory, right? And then you'll assess which one cost you a lot, which one did not cost you a lot, where you're spending the most money, and how to adjust moving forward. That's all it is. You're already doing analytical, you already have that analytical skill set, right? So back to the technical skill set. We covered the day-to-day management. We covered the fact that you may have more than one technology to learn. We covered the fact that you will be responsible for optimization on different platform. And then the next point will be negotiation with private marketplace, data management platform. This is simply just you knowing this platform and the campaign so well that you'll be asked to lead certain conversation in front of a vendor. If a vendor is pitching you to sell you if I was a rental company and TripAdvisor is pitching me, that kind of negotiation, discussing like, okay, why should we work with you? What are the pricing that comes with it? Things like that. Develop and analyze custom report. That is what I said. When you're optimizing, you are going to track, right? You're going to have a way to track your performance, your changes, and then at the end of the month, we report those changes to a client or to the stakeholder or to the rest of the team. Sometimes it's monthly, sometimes it's weekly reporting, sometimes it's quarterly reporting. Okay, and the last bullet point is just strategy. The more you spend time in the technology, the more you spend time making these changes, you'll start seeing specific needs or specific trends happening in your data, right? And that's where assisting with the strategy comes from. Is the fact that when you start seeing these trends, you can go back and say like, hey, I'm actually performing a lot on news sites, or I've been performing a lot on Spotify for the Disney music genre. Maybe we should target moms with younger kids, think something like that, right? So that's the type of strategy inside you can start pulling, but you'll only be able to pull these strategy and assist like that with spending time in your data. Okay, so that's the beauty of it. So let's talk about let's talk about what it means from a soft skill. So technical skills, managing a campaign, setting up in a platform, pulling insight, adjusting based on what you're asked. Soft skill, you're going to have to be all of the above. You're going to have to be curious. You're going to be confident. You're going to be consistent. Most of us are already patient to some extent. Most of us are already resilient. If you're watching this video, you're interested in this. Nobody else has told you to watch this video, and you're resilient. You want to find out what is out there. So I commend you for being here. And I'll end with this. You got to be open-minded. You got to be a change engine. What I mean by that is that this is a technology base industry. Technology means it's a lot of updates that's going to happen. So you always going to have to be very, very open to learning constantly, and that your education journey, education is not the destination here, it's a journey. Okay, just be that. So let's recap really quick. Okay, so for your soft skill, I know you already have it. Communication skills is a big deal, which was the last three bullet point. Communication, because you will be considered the leader of the technology or the expert. So it's really important that you explain to people that have no idea. Literally, they're not in the technology every day, right? So they cannot comprehend certain things. It's just not conceptually doesn't make sense. So it's your job to educate them on what you do and what is happening so that they can really be your advocate in front of a client, especially when it comes to internal teams. Okay. The second skill set is analytical. I mentioned earlier, everybody is some form of analytical, and you can learn how to be analytical. Okay. And the first one would be you have to remain a lifelong learner. You have to remain open to learning constantly and applying and adjusting and being flexible. Those are the soft skill set that we are all looking for. The want to learn, open-minded, and always asking questions. So I hope this was helpful.